This is a World War II field kitchen. It is a company-sized mess. In other words, it is designed to serve 150 to 180 men. The field kitchen was actually part of the company organization, part of the company headquarters, although in reality, it was more often put together with the next headquarters level, the battalion level. In other words, you would have 3 of these kitchens operating together. The reason being is that most company headquarters were simply too close to the front for the safe operation of the kitchen. It also made it easier for supply. It was easier to get the trucks with the food, the water, and so forth to the kitchen so that they could prepare it. And it really didn't impact their efficiency at all because they could still take it forward when they needed to. The heart of the operation would be the M1937 range stove. With an M1937 range stove, which is powered by gasoline, you could cook anything that did not require refrigeration. You can do roasts, you can bake, you can do pies, pancakes, bacon. Anything that you can do on a modern kitchen, you can do on one of these range stoves. Now, the food that was prepared tended to be fairly straightforward. Remember, you are preparing for a large number of people. The other limiting factor was the food that was available. Virtually all of the food that was served in these field kitchens had to be shipped from the United States, which meant for the most part it was either dehydrated or canned. The cooks were intended to serve 2 meals a day: supper after dark, breakfast before daylight. If you're in daylight, you're visible, you become a prime target for artillery or snipers. Dinner, or as the Army called it, we'd call it lunch, was actually supposed to be one of the combat rations, either a K or a C. And this plan of serving 2 hot meals a day and 1 cold meal a day actually worked out more often than most people realize. Unfortunately, it never worked out as well as or as often as most people would prefer. And in fact, there are and were times when troops spent days, sometimes weeks at a time, eating nothing but combat rations. And unfortunately, those are also the stories you hear most about. Now, the field kitchens served a number of purposes. One, it's not just nutrition, keeping soldiers healthy, keeping them fit for combat. It was also a very important morale thing. If you've ever spent any time living outside, you realize just how important and how good a hot meal makes you feel when you get one. Now, once the food is prepared, you have to get it to the troops in the front. And how do you keep it hot? You use Mermite cans. The Mermite can is essentially a 5-gallon thermos. You can either put the food directly into the Mermite can, or each one will take 3 inserts. You can put the food in, load them up, and it will keep the food hot for several hours. You would then load it into a truck, take it forward as close to the line as you could get, unload, set up, and then you would pull the troops a few at a time off of the line. If it was very quiet, the cooks could actually go from position to position to feed troops, although that did not happen very often. While every soldier was issued a mess kit, in combat most of them did not carry a mess kit for a variety of reasons. One, it's just one more thing you have to carry. 2, they do rattle, they do make noise and can give away your position. Third, and perhaps most important, is that there's no adequate cleaning facilities on the front line, so it becomes a health and safety issue. In practice, the cooks would bring the mess kits forward with the food, serve the troops, recollect the mess kits, take them back, and clean them up as part of their kitchen cleanup. You're going to need hot water and lots of it. The way you do that is with the immersion heaters. The immersion heater is essentially a 30-gallon garbage can with a gasoline-powered heater. With that heater, you can basically boil the water in one of those trash cans in about 25-30 minutes. Now, obviously, there's 2 things the kitchen needs besides food. You're going to need gasoline. You are going to need water. Now, most kitchens had a water trailer that they could haul, or if they did not have that, they had a cargo trailer that you would load the gasoline, water in 5-gallon cans, and that would also be typically where you carried your food. Now, this is sort of an ideal setup for a field kitchen. Not every field kitchen looked like this. Number 1, while you were issued 3 range stoves, 3 immersion heaters, as many Mermites as you needed, in reality, some kitchens operated with fewer range stoves, some operated with more. Some had more immersion heaters, some had less. They wouldn't necessarily set up under the fly. They'd set up in a building, a barn, any place they could find shelter. In many cases, it was possible to take the 3-range stove, line them up in the back of a 2.5-ton truck, permanently attach them, and have a mobile kitchen. So the field kitchen tended to vary with the circumstances and the situation and the needs of the cooks in the unit at the time.